After what seemed like the Houston Rockets woke up the dragon that is, of course, the Golden State Warriors, it seems that the NBA playoffs is now going to go back to the same old, with the Warriors probably dominating until they get to the NBA Finals, and they'll probably win in like 4 to 5. I would say 5 to 6 games is what they're going to win the NBA Finals in. And of course, that's boring, and of course, that's not really what's going to happen. I don't know what will happen, but it's more than likely that way because the Golden State Warriors are now more motivated than ever after the Houston Rockets decided to wake him up. So it's not really fun talking about the NBA playoffs at this point because we know that the Houston Rockets are probably not going to win this series, but it's more interesting to talk about what's going to happen after the playoffs, what's going to happen after the NBA Finals, as we know that Kevin Durant's free agency is one of the biggest questions going into the NBA, or this NBA season, and going into next NBA's offseason that we can be excited for, because we want to know if he's going to stay in Golden State or will he sign with a different team. We know that there's many teams involved in this. Of course, the Brooklyn Nets are involved, the New York Knicks are involved, and that's in Washington Wizards. All these teams are heavily involved in wanting to get Kevin Durant in his services for 4 to 5 years because, to be honest, who wouldn't want a guy that's 7 foot and can shoot? This guy can do it all. He can dunk, he can shoot, he can pass. I mean, this guy is a very unstoppable monster. I mean, he's almost unguardable. I know he likes to list himself at 6'9". He's really 7 foot, and I don't know why he doesn't like to list himself at 7 foot. I don't know if it's like a center thing, like he doesn't want to be classified as a center, but nevertheless, Kevin Durant is going to be a free agent, and it's going to be an interesting question as to who signs him. One way a team's trying to get that advantage is, of course, trying to offer Kevin Durant a TV show, and that is, of course, the New York Knicks and the MSG. So this is what the article goes on to say, of course, by the New York Post, and like I said, take the New York Post with a grain of salt. It says, insiders believe that Kevin Durant will host his own TV show on MSG Network if he signs with the New York Knicks. MSG Networks has a 38% drop-off ratings for the Knicks games this season compared to 17-18 season, as we know that the Knicks finished with the worst record in the NBA, and we know that Kevin Durant right now currently has a TV show on ESPN. So with all that being said, why would Kevin Durant want a TV show on local news for New York? I understand that Kevin Durant is a guy he's an entrepreneur. He's a guy that wants to get more money. He's a guy that wants to expand his role beyond basketball. But to me, why would I want to host a MSG show? If I already host an ESPN show that's national, why would I not want to do like a podcast or a YouTube, Twitch, Twitter? I mean, if the New York Knicks can get Kevin Durant on a Twitch stream or something like that, where it's kind of like a TV show-esque type of deal, I think that will be a bigger deal than them trying to do an MSG deal, because I know that traditional media is dying. It's not the same that it once was. Newspapers aren't as big anymore. Television cables are not as big anymore. No one has the cable anymore. Everybody's going with the wireless or the Netflix-esque streaming service that everyone goes for. HBO has it for their Game of Thrones. I mean, everyone has something that's not traditional media. So the biggest question for me is going to be, would Kevin Durant even want a TV show in New York? I mean, to be honest, I don't think so, because when I look at Kevin Durant, he's a guy that's very, I wouldn't say he's very expressive other than maybe on Twitter. So I think it would be actually really cool and interesting to see if he would actually do it on other social media sites. Like I said, like a Twitter, like Periscope, Instagram video, IGTV, Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube. I mean, those I think would be more interesting, and I think that Kevin Durant could relate more to that because he's more of a millennial than I think. I know that Kevin Durant's a millennial. He's not like he's a 40-year-old, 50-year-old that wants to get on television or the radio, because, you know, people in my generation aren't looking to get themselves going on TV anymore or to get themselves going on the radio. It's more of, or even the newspaper for that matter, it's more of, you know, articles on the internet or, you know, YouTube or Twitch, you know, whatever it is, those are what the guys are going for. So to me, the fact that Kevin Durant would be offered a TV show, I just think that if I'm Kevin Durant, I probably would say no, in my opinion, because if Kevin Durant is too good, and I just think that he would want the, you know, if they have a bad game, let's say the Knicks do poorly, he's not going to want to go on the TV show that next day. He wants to control the narrative of himself and what he's going through. So I think that having a TV show would ultimately not be in control of his narrative, and people would be asking him these questions. I know that he would host it so he can control what's being said on it, but at the same time, you know, the New York media and just media in general is just ruthless when you lose, especially in a harsh town like New York or Boston or LA. We know that those guys can be very harsh. So the real question is going to be what to do next. What will Kevin Durant's ultimate move be? Because the only way that Kevin Durant will even sign with the Knicks is if that roster is a lot better. And I know that Kyrie Irving is also having a free agency conundrum as well, but it's going to be interesting to see what free agents will want to go to the New York Knicks, because we know that the Brooklyn Nets have a decently good team. I would say the Brooklyn Nets have a better roster than the New York Knicks at this moment. The question is going to be, where is Kevin Durant going to sign? Does he want to sign in New York and maybe get Kyrie and Jimmy Butler? Or does he want to sign with Brooklyn with maybe D'Angelo Russell and another player of his choosing? I mean, it's just going to be a very, very interesting topic to find out what Kevin Durant's thinking, because we know that in Kevin's mind and what we're seeing in Kevin's body language is that he wants to be the man. And we all know the famous saying from Ric Flair, if you guys don't watch wrestling or if you guys haven't seen it, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I think that Kevin Durant wants to be the man. And the way that you be the man is going to your own team and signing with the Knicks or whatever team that's not the Golden State Warriors, because we know that people have been challenging Kevin Durant's legacy in terms of, well, he won a championship. He won, well, potentially could win 3 championships, but it was with the Warriors where his worst player was Andre Iguodala, or his worst player, or his fourth worst player, sorry, I should say, is, Draymond Green. I mean, to me, that just kind of validates Kevin Durant's willingness to leave. And I understand that, guys like Colin Cowherd and people have been saying, why would you want to leave a perfect situation? Well, at some point, you just want to be the guy. You don't want to be the second fiddle. And we all know that, in my opinion, that in Oklahoma City and in the Golden State Warriors, he was always number 2. Because we know that Russell Westbrook was loved by the fans in the front office more, and we know that Steph Curry's loved by the fans in front office more than Kevin Durant. So it's going to be an interesting situation what the New York Knicks can do in order to get Kevin Durant to sign with them and to be the man for the New York Knicks to win an NBA championship sometime soon. But that's just going to be my opinion. What do you guys think of this story? Do you guys think that Kevin Durant having his own TV show will entice Kevin Durant to want to sign with the New York Knicks? Or do you guys think that that's kind of just a load of crap? Or you think that, well, it doesn't really matter because traditional media is dead? I would love to know your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie, here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Also remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our NBA content. Like I said, talking about stuff like Kevin Durant's free agency, the Houston Rockets blunder that they had not only last night but the night before, talking about the refs, and also Zion Williamson, John Morant, and NBA draft stuff. That is also what we have here on the channel. But anyway, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.